Hello, my friends. Justine D'Andrea here with Bible Journaling Ministries creative team. And today we're using the printables from Exodus 34:21. These are part of the Momentum kit, or you can buy them separately in the Bible Journaling Ministries.com store. What lovely fall printables they are for sure. I really love the colors. So today we are going to be using some glue, what glue I use. We're going to need inks, and I use the inks that are match the printables. Um, and I'm going to show you ombre. There's such a thing as an ombre stamp pad, and it's really cool because it has 3 ink pads in one. So I'm going to show you that. And then, of course, a dauber or a makeup sponge. I'm going to use a stamp. I'm going to be stamping a little bit. So any type of background stamp that you want to use. And a tacky glue, some type of a tacky glue, and your finger. And my Stablio I'm definitely going to use. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. So my first ink that I'm going to use is a brown ink. I want to use a dark ink. And I start off by using a dauber, and I'm really going to go quite heavy on the brown ink. So this it's a technique, and we're going to be using glue in this technique. I've never done this technique before, but I think it's really cool. And this is something that I found on Pinterest. Pinterest is like my go-to. I get incentives from it. I don't always follow exactly what it shows, but I kind of get inspired by it. And I hope that's what I do for you guys too. And I'm going to grab a background stencil. Not stencil, I'm sorry, stamp. And when I mean background stamp, basically it's just kind of um like doodles doodle like a doodle stamp, or like a textured stamp. And if you're just using your stamp for the first time, you can use an eraser to help get that stickiness off um, your acrylic stamp. So this is an ombre stamp pad, which means it has 3 different stamp pads in it. So all you have to do is stamp once, and you'll get all 3 colors. And hopefully you could see it here. It's a little dark, but so dark, medium, and then light, which is really cool. I've never used it before. I bought it a while ago. So I'm going to be using that, and before I fill in my background, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp with my ombre. I'm going to offset it, and I don't mind that it doesn't cover completely. It's okay with me because this is just to have a background texture. And actually, that was kind of a little bit dark for me. I'm trying to match more of the colors in the printable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own ombre. And the way you do this is take your stamp, grab one of your ink pads, and you're gonna do half of it. You're gonna stamp the ink pad on your stamp, half of it in one color, and then I'm gonna pick another orange, and I'm gonna do the other side of the stamp. So that's kind of like my ombre. I'm okay with it mixing a little bit. I don't want it to overlap too much. But and here you'll see the how that went. So it's got my own little ombre that I did. So let's show that again. And notice I did not ink off my stamp, and that's okay because I like colors to mix together. It just adds a little um realness to me. And then I think I'm going to do a little bit of yellow. Then I thought if you wanted to, you might be able to do 3 by maybe taking a piece of paper and covering. I don't know. That was a thought. I didn't try it, but that was a thought. So that you can use 3 colors instead of just 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stamp around. And I'm doing second and third generations, meaning I'm stamping it once and then I'm lifting it and stamping it somewhere else. And that's called like a second generation. And if you do it again, that would be a third. So it's kind of just adding color to my page, and you can do as much as you want. So the white space, I call it white space because it doesn't have anything on it. I am going to definitely make darker, and I'm going to use a dark brown, the one I used earlier, and then just kind of fill in all over the place. I really want it to have a really dark background because the technique we're using is really cool. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Um, I think probably a medium ink would be good on this because the technique we're doing, I think using your darker ink for the last step that we're going to use would be good. So on this base part of your page, you want to use colors that are lighter than the last color you're going to use, if that makes sense. So I decided I didn't want it all brown. So I'm adding some green that matches the printable. For me, I like to match the printables. I mean, you can use whatever color you want. But when I'm thinking, I mean, with these leaves on the heart and everything, I just like the mixture of that. You know, how it just reminds me of, fall, and it reminds me of just this big bush of or big pile of leaf just sitting there, and it makes my heart happy. And then I'm going to go over one more time and just add a little bit more in the white spaces here with the dark brown. So this technique is really, really cool. I really, like I said, I've never used it before, and I think there's a lot that you can do with it. So I'm just kind of, and it's funny because it looks in the camera, it looks a lot different than it does on in person. So I don't know. So you definitely want to use a tacky glue. You don't want to use a really thin glue. And what you're going to do is just put dots. It would help if I opened it. It's a brand new bottle. You're going to go ahead and kind of just put it dots around sporadically on your page. Just kind of all different places. You don't want to fill the whole page with it, just different areas. Then you're going to take the most expensive tool you have, your finger. You're just going to spread the glue around. You don't want to cover the whole page. You just kind of want to make some texture on the page. So see, I'm just kind of letting it fade out. That'll just a tiny bit more. And just using your finger. I guess you could use a some other tool, but fingers are good. Okay. Like I said, you don't want to put it all over the page, just in certain spots. Maybe over the textured area so that you'll see that. All right. Now the key is making sure that we let this dry completely. So we're gonna you can heat it with your heat gun or let it air dry, but you need it to dry completely. So mine is all dry magic. And what I'm going to do is I have this really cool purple eggplant color. And you're going to take your dauber or your sponge and you're going to look at how awesome that is. It really matches the printables. So you can swipe all the way across if you want from side to side. You can do circles, but what you're going to see is where the glue is, it's not going to, the ink is not going to adhere to it. So, like, you'll have areas, if you see there by my right hand, there's an area that kind of looks like a leaf because, oops, because of the way the glue, I keep hitting the thing, sorry, because of the way the glue dispersed. Do you see that? Can you see how the eggplant, and it's not covering the textured area where the glue is. So I'm going to go all the way down with that. And I just think it's so cool. So the thing is when I was doing it, I really wanted the eggplant in there, but I didn't like the way the left side looked. So I'm going to add some inks to that and try to soften it up a little bit. I love it because what I created reminds me so much of what that heart looks like. I don't know, it's really cool. Just all the colors just blending together. So I'm just taking the little mini distressed ink pad and just lightly touching it to the edge of the paper to just kind of make some color in there. It's really cool because there's like it doesn't come off at all. It's really cool. What do you guys think? Do you think it's cool? I'm gonna go over it a little bit again. Just using the ink directly from the ink pad. So here's the thing. If there's a spot that you really don't like, you can cover it with the printables. And you'll see as I build this page, basically that's what I do. I'm going to build it out. But look at that. Isn't that just like the coolest thing ever? And I like the way it shines, and I don't know, it's just really fun. Okay. I love art. I love, 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 love art. Let's put my inks away. And then I'll show you. Like I said, I really don't like the way that left side turned out, but by the end of the video, I'm very happy with it. Here's the thing too. You get 3 sheets of printables in your kit or in your momentum. And the thing that I love is I love to mix and match and kind of do my own thing. You can use them the way they are, the way that Tracy has designed them. Um, one page is generally for a regular margined book. The other one is for a interleaved or even the inspired, which I'm using here. This is the inspired Bible, which has more of an area where you can create in. So I usually tend to do this, or I do my interleaved, and because I need area to create. So what I've decided to do was I love the leaves. I'm all about the leaves today, and I'm gonna cut the hands off, and I'm just gonna use the leaves for this part. And I love the fussy cut, so I'm all about that too. So I'm gonna take one part of the leaves and place it behind, and then I decide to cut them both out to kind of even out the heart. Isn't that cool? So be creative, this is to inspire you. This is to help give you ideas and just take it and run. Okay, so I'm going to finish cutting up the second part of the leaves, doing my fussy cutting. So when you're layering your printables, one of the things that I do is if I have the center point, which will be my heart, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue the middle part of the middle part of the heart so that I can slip the leaves underneath and arrange it that way. And then this case, if there's any other things I want to add to the heart, I can slip it underneath, but my heart is not going to move. So here you'll see that I'm doing that. I'm giving I in actually I could have went in a little bit more, but um I'm going to place my heart down, but I'm still going to have room that I can go ahead and place the leaves underneath it. So I'm going to kind of angle it, place it behind, and the other one. And again, there's plenty of graphics here to do other pages if I wanted to, or you can also make like a card or something and send it to someone using the same technique. I know that I'm not putting anything behind it anymore, so I just glued the edges. And then I like to take some of the word fetty I call it, and place it behind. Behind. I got behind on my mind. Place it on the page. So I'm kind of trying to cover up some of that messiness that I had going on, and it really doesn't look that bad to me once I got some stuff on it, some of the graphics on it. Um, but you know, mistakes are okay, and we shouldn't be hard on ourselves. Just have fun. So my thinking here was thou shalt rest. And actually, let me read Exodus 34:21. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the seventh day thou shalt rest. In earing time and in harvest thou. This is why I don't read the King James because oh my goodness. Anyway, um, so it's talking about, excuse me, thou shalt rest. And when I'm thinking, I love these printables because they're very resting to me. They're very fallish, they're very soothing. She's got the candles, she's got the pumpkins, and like I said, leaves are just a really happy, relaxing environment for me. I used to live in Maine, and going down the streets in fall, it was just so gorgeous to see all the colors. So this kind of reminds me of that with the lemon or the oranges and the spice, the allspice. So what I did was a grouping to kind of balance it, and just makes me feel happy. It makes me feel relaxed. Just adding the actually, I think that's anise. I think that is. And then the oranges. You can she doesn't have cinnamon there, but um yeah. So that's my thought of this grouping. I like the pine cone. I'm gonna put him in there, and then I think I'm gonna put the pumpkin in too. Because those are just all things that, excuse me. I'm just getting over a bad cold, so please excuse my coughing and my voice. I'm gonna grab the small pumpkin. You can even add that extra heart if you wanted to. and more leaves. But I'm really liking this page a lot. So we're going to add the thankful pumpkin because I want to remember to be thankful. I'm just fussing cutting it out. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little technique that I showed you. And if you feel inclined to go ahead and post it in the Bible Journaling Ministries page or Bible Journaling Ministries, yeah, page or actually I don't know that you can post it there, but you can Bible Journaling for Beginners page. If you're over there, that you can post it there. And if you're not a member of Momentum and you're interested in purchasing these printables, it's a great deal. It's a great um, group to be in. There's plenty of techniques that you'll see. Hopefully, that will just inspire you and help you on your journey to begin Bible journaling. And don't be intimidated, just have fun and spend your time in the Word by just um, visually remembering, also the scripture. Okay, so again, go to BibleJournalingMinistries.com and remember, like us and subscribe so you can, get notifications when new videos come out. So thank you all again, and I hope um, to see you all again. I hope that you enjoyed this. And I just remembered I did the Stabillo. After all that goodbyes, I'm still here. Um, I just added just a little bit. I didn't go too crazy with it because I wanted to keep some of that whiteness. So I'm just going around the wording and then just highlighting some of the leaves. And what I do is I just rub with my finger a little bit just to kind of blend it. It just kind of gives an extra little dimension to it. Just all around, not worrying, just shadowing a little bit. All right, now I'm serious. Now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish up my page. So I'm only doing the leaves and the wording. I'm not doing the heart or the bottom part, but you can do that if you want it. Stabilo is I believe it's kind of like a charcoal pencil, and you can get those on Amazon. They're just a lot of fun to use. I think you've heard me before in videos. Um, I'm loving this page. Loving it, loving it. All right, I'm going to go. May God bless you and keep you. And until next time, we will see you later.